So today we're going to be learning about writing successfully with a prompt. And for the last 3 weeks, we've been focused in on opinion writing. So the mode that we've been looking at has been opinion writing, but we're shifting gears and we're moving forward and we're going to focus in now on informative writing. Okay, so I created this slide because I want all of my students to remember that there is steps that we can take to be successful when we're writing with a prompt. I'm not going to read all of these for you because this is something we've been doing throughout the year. If you want to pause the video and take a look at this yourself, you can certainly do that. This is important for students that if they forget the steps that they're supposed to take, go ahead and pause this video and read this to yourself before you go any further. So to start out, I'm going to start with step 1, and I've modeled for you everything that I possibly could to show you exactly what exemplary work would look like, and you can use this video as a guideline to help you in your writing for this week. So step 1, find the directions first. Just like in class, if I was to hand you a packet of writing, the first thing you would do is flip the page, flip the page. We know that, and we have to find the directions first before we go any further, because if we don't do that, then we have no idea what our purpose is for writing. So for me, my writing prompt says, write an informative essay to present to your class about the benefits of dance on the human body. Use information from the passages in your essay. Step 2. Read the directions and unpack the prompt. This is really where we get an understanding of why we're writing, what we need to write about. First things first, I need to determine the mode. Now, I already gave it to you, and I said that we were using informative writing this week. So I was able to identify from my prompt that I'm writing an informative essay, and I even coded it and unpacked it with mode up here so that I know exactly the type of writing that I'm supposed to be doing. Now, again, we've been focused on opinion, but they're not asking me for my opinion here. They're asking me for informative. And remember in class, we talked about what word do you hear inside of informative? We hear information. So they're asking me for information. Notice that they're not asking me for my opinion. Okay, clarify words I don't know, right down here. You can't move on in your writing unless you know exactly what they're asking you to do. So as I was reading my prompt, the word benefits gave me a little bit of trouble. You know, I was trying to think in my head, what does that mean? Well, I couldn't really think of it myself. So what did I do? I had to look it up. And one of the things that I found was that benefits means how it helps someone or something. So this really helped me understand exactly what I need to write about. And then determine the focus of your writing. Remember, we've talked about topic, which is the subject of your writing, and the focus is you have to zoom in and focus on something specific that they're asking you to do. Well, when I did that, I was able to determine that my topic is dance. My focus is the benefits of dance on the human body. So I'm not writing about what is dance. They didn't ask me for that. They asked me to focus on the benefits of dance on the human body. Step 3, read and code the text. So I'm just going to explain once again, as I did in class, the reason that we have to read carefully and code the text is because this is our opportunity, first of all, to read about the topic I'm going to be writing about, but also to collect text evidence. This is your chance to go through the text and kind of pull out pieces of evidence that you might use when it comes time to write. So I definitely use close reading strategies to read the text. I code the text to collect information you need for text evidence. That's what I just got done explaining to you. And then only code the strongest pieces of information. Some of us have a habit of reading the text and every single little thing that it says about dancing being good for the human body, you want to underline it and code it. And then when we go to find our main ideas, what's happening is you have so much information that's coded in your text that it's hard to determine which are the strongest pieces. So as I'm reading, in my brain, I'm having a conversation to myself and I'm saying, is this a strong piece of information that will help support my topic? If it's not, I'm not going to code it. Even if it is something that tells me how dancing benefits the human body. If it's not strong and it doesn't give me clear and strong information about my topic, then I'm not going to code it. So the code that I decided to do was BHB, benefits human body. Do you notice how this connects with the prompt? Remember that we're writing about how does dance benefit the human body. So BHB, benefits human body. Every time I read strong text evidence that tells me how it benefits the human body, I'm going to go ahead and code it. So notice here, I just took a quick snapshot of my text after I was finished coding it. Notice that I only have a few on here. I don't have a whole lot. Again, explaining again that I didn't code everything because I want to make it easier for myself later on when I go to collect my text evidence. Step 4, after I finished reading the texts, all 3 of them, because I had 3, and I finished coding, now I'm going to make a short list of only the strongest pieces of evidence. Even though I didn't code that much, now I want to go back and filter out all of the ones that maybe aren't so strong and just list the strongest ones so that it's easier for me to now pick out my main ideas. So again, only list the coded evidence that would make the best text evidence for your writing. Making this list will help you identify your 2 main ideas, I promise. So I make a quick list and then make a note of where you found this text evidence. Look at my list. Look at how I wrote source 1, paragraph 3, source 1, paragraph 6. I did that because I don't have time later on to go back and go find where I found this text. Which text did I find it in? I don't have time for that. So I write it down as I'm making my short list. So here's my short list. Step 5, now it's time to determine your big ideas from your list. And this is where students have the most problem. So some of the questions that I was able to ask myself while I was trying to think of what my main ideas could be, how are these ideas on this list over here, how are some of them alike? And what do these ideas on my list have in common? Okay, so I started rereading my list. And you'll notice here that I have circled in green text evidence the text evidence that I collected that kind of sounded a lot like other text evidence. So muscles get a workout, helps with physical condition for sports, heart muscles stronger and lung work better, build heart and lung fitness, more flexible and coordinated, coordination, flexibility, balance. As I was reading those pieces of evidence on my list, something kept going into my mind, kept coming right to the front of my brain. And I was like, wait, this is good for your body. This is good for your body. Muscles get a workout, good for your body. Helps with physical condition, good for your body. Heart muscles stronger, good for your body. So that idea that kept popping into my brain, that's how they're all alike. They all have physical benefits for your body. So as you can see again in green, the ones I circled are the ones that really stood out to me as physical benefits. Okay, kind of the same slide again, but this time, remember, we're trying to find 2 main ideas. So I had physical benefits. That could be one of my main ideas. But let me reread my list again to see if I can find more text evidence that has something in common with each other. So in purple, I have fun, feeling open and free, feeling of belonging, courage, relieve stress. So as I'm reading all of them, same thing as last slide that I show you, there was an idea that just kept popping up into my brain. Having fun has mental benefits. Feeling open and free, more mental benefits. Feeling of belonging to a group, mental benefits. Relieve stress, mental benefits. Courage, more mental benefits. So again, that's how I came up with my 2 main ideas, was rereading, looking for the big picture, the big idea that you're getting from your text evidence that you listed here, and then come up with your 2 main ideas. So one we talked about was physical benefits. The next one is mental benefits. Those are my 2 main ideas. Okay, so now that I have my two main ideas down here, I need to determine, well, which one of these that I circled am I going to use in my text as my text evidence? Well, again, thinking about the strongest pieces of text evidence that will support your main idea. So if you look at my snapshot, I kind of did a little check mark next to the ones I wanted to use. So I decided that for physical benefits, heart muscles stronger and lungs work better. Build heart and lung fitness. So that's one for physical benefits. And then the other one was coordination, flexibility, and balance. Then for mental benefits, I decided to use courage because I think courage really is something that people would struggle with. We're all scared and we have fears about different things. But what if we can improve that through dance? So I decided to use courage. And I decided to use relieve stress because everybody wants to get rid of some of the stress that they have. So those are the pieces of text evidence that I'm going to cite in my source. Now it's time to plan your writing. Okay, plan out your middles first. You already have this information. You already did that hard work. Let me go back and show you. Okay, so here it is. Here is all of the information that you need for your middles. You have your main ideas and you have your text evidence. So go forward again and look how I planned. So for middle one, I know physical benefits is going to be the topic of my middle one. My text evidence I have here is heart muscles strong and lungs work better. And look how I put my source in here where I found it. Easy. My second piece of text evidence, I just wrote in coordination. Remember, no one is grading your planning sheet. So however you decide to plan, make sure that it's easy for you to write. Make sure that you get in the information that you can that will help you on your next step when it comes time to write. So here are my two pieces of text evidence. Okay, and then I wrote out elaboration and OT. My elaboration, I was able to think of it as I was writing or planning my text evidence. So dance helps heart and lungs means strong body. But my OT, I found that I was spending way too much time in my plan trying to think of OT. Well, then I decided I'm not going to think of it in my plan. I'm going to think about it where it really counts, where I should be spending most of my time, which is writing out my piece. So as you can see here, I did my main idea. I did my text evidence, elaboration, OT, 2 to 3 sentences. Then again, text evidence, elaboration, more OT, and my wrap up. Notice also that I have used source 3 and source 1 for my text evidence. They're not coming from the same piece or the same source rather. I'm trying to switch it up and make it interesting. I did the same exact thing for middle 2. Okay, so everything you see here, I just followed these steps and did the same thing on middle 2. My beginning and my end, well, I'm going to show you my next slide, which is going to give you your checklist. So if you follow your checklist, your beginning and your end should be quick planning because you already know what you're going to use in your middle and your end. It's the the beginning and the end. The middle is the juicy part of your writing. So that's where you should spend the most amount of time during your planning. All right, here's your writing checklist. This is something that's been on Edsby for you guys to look at. I've been sending it to you weekly. This is something you should have with you when you are writing. So I'm not going to go over this too much to save on time. Step 7, now it's time to use your plan to write your piece. I zoomed in a lot on my beginning here just so that you can see that everything I said I was going to do in my beginning is in my beginning. Let me read it to you. TikTok. Most people know exactly what that means. I'll bet most people also know the most popular dances on TikTok as well. If you've tried to learn some of those dances, then you are on your way to a better functioning body. In fact, dancing has many benefits for the human body. To name a couple, dancing has important physical benefits as well as mental benefits. So the next time you are on TikTok and you see that interesting dance, don't be shy. Get up and give it a try to help improve your body. Yes, I know you see some misspellings in there. I did that on purpose, guys, because don't forget, revising and editing is a big part of what you need to do. Step 7, now it's time to use that plan for your writing